American Riviera Orchard absolutely reeks of desperation, much like Meghan Markle trying to make it in Hollywood as an actress. As Meghan, in order to, I guess, try to outshine Catherine as she returns for Trooping the Color, which she absolutely, utterly, and completely failed at, had her friend or Harry's friend Nacho share something new from American Riviera Orchard. One of two jams. Yes, that's right. There are only apparently two of Meghan Markle's raspberry jams that exist, which means nobody can purchase it. And then apparently she also gave them dog biscuits, which also nobody can purchase. I have been watching ARO since it launched, and it seems to be that everything is doubling down on stupid at this point. The strategy is stupid, the execution is stupid. Everything about this brand screams absolute inept failure. And I think Meghan Markle is actually starting to feel a bit of the pressure here because the desperation to try to outshine Catherine, which was never ever going to happen, by rushing a batch of raspberry jam, so much so that she wrecked the vast majority of it because she only had enough for 2 jars, is just absolutely silliness. It is terrible. Yet Meghan Markle seems to have no other plan for the brand at this point. There are no products. There is no website except for one that just is a landing page. There is no social media strategy. There is nothing for this brand. And yet Meghan Markle continues to have her friends look as terrible as she does by endlessly promoting meaningless products on social media. It is pathetic. And we are going to discuss this today because everybody should learn some good business strategies. And Meghan Markle, of course, is always a great example of what not to do in any particular situation. But if you guys haven't been to Rail News Network before, my name is Brittany. I provide y'all compelling rail commentary. So if you love chatting about Harry and Meghan, feel free to visit our family. We also talk about all the other royals in the Crown Report, which is oh so fun. I also did a live stream with Catherine's return. So if you're interested in that, you can click the link down below as well. And if you love chatting about the royals, Harry and Meghan, the history of royal families, everything like that, I do have a trip to Germany and the Czech Republic around Christmas. And I'm so excited about this one because they had another trip and I was following kind of the path I did with a group of followers last year. And it was fantastic. We had a wonderful and amazing time. But I'm super excited about this one because we are in Berlin, Dresden, and Prague, which are amazing cities, especially when you're talking about the history of Berlin and Dresden, especially when you're talking about the history, especially in Prague, which was very much protected after World War II. It just didn't get hit quite as much with the bombing campaigns. You see some amazing architecture, some amazing history. So if you guys are interested in that, enjoying some of the Yuletide festivities on the other corner of the world, feel free to check out the link up above. I would love to have you join me. So I'm filming this video on Saturday and it will probably go live on Sunday. And of course, we had did a live stream for Trooping the Color. And when I was on the live stream, I looked through and I evaluate the comments, and somebody goes, "Oh yeah, Megan, she's launched a new jam and dog biscuits." And I honestly thought it was a joke because I was like, "How stupid is that? Catherine's returning, and the best you have is more jam." But it's not a joke. It's legit. And it's just unbelievable in terms of the terrible, horrific strategy that is American Riviera Orchard. This thing is catastrophically bad. Just from a business marketing standpoint, there is nothing redeemable so far about American Riviera Orchard. It's a mess. So let's take a look at what Nacho posted. So the first is this. Megan now has raspberry jam. We started off with strawberry. Now we have raspberry. But the difference here is that strawberry offered one of 50 is what we saw. This one is one of two. There are only two jars that exist, which means there is only one potential jar to sell. And unless Megan's selling it for $250, nobody is going to buy this. And nobody can buy this because there's only two of them. And you just got to wonder why? If you have nothing to sell, why are you showing this? And we will get to why. But here's the next shot. We are also continuing the practice of marketing the jams with dogs because they are showing their dog and the jam. And I will say I do like the thing on top of the jam, the little cover thing. I like that. The thing is, how much of cost is that adding to something as cheap as jam? Anybody can make jam. Anybody. Anybody. I have a cooking book that's over 100 years old, and guess what's in there? A lot of jam recipes. So there's nothing unique or interesting about jam, and there's nothing probably unique or interesting about hers except for the logo and this little topper thing. But are you paying an extra $5 to $10 just for that? That's a huge question. And so we got the next one, which is dog biscuits and Megan's a fancy cursive. And obviously, it's to their dog, and that's nice, but the question is, does everybody who orders from American Riviera Orchard get a handwritten dog biscuits thing from Meghan Markle with a cheap ribbon there? And obviously, I mean, it's nice what they're putting it in, but why? How are we as an audience and potential consumers supposed to engage with her products? Because here's the thing Meghan Markle has completely and utterly failed at when it comes to this launch and comes to this brand overall, which is not really a brand yet because there's no products, is we have no clue who she is marketing this brand for. We have no clue who her potential consumers are. 'Cause she hasn't told us. We don't know the price. We don't know if this is I mean, we can guess it's supposed to be, like, expensive, but we really don't know. And one of the big things when it comes to marketing, branding, and everything is knowing your audience. So when I built this channel, I knew my audience. I wanted people who liked royals, like, having deeper conversations about royals. I tried to avoid conspiracy theories. I tried to do a couple different things, and hopefully I attract that audience. But Megan with ARO, it's been 3 plus months now, and she has not given us a single iota of a marketing strategy. Giving your brand and your jam to other celebrities is not a brand strategy. That is just it looks like at this point, this is what it looks like to me. I'm a crafty person. So if for a group of friends, I would love to make things. Sometimes I don't have time, but like I love to hand make things. I love to hand make things for my family and friends. And so my thing would be is I would actually make jam and give it to my friends and something like that because that's nice. It's a way, and I would maybe cross stitch a topper or something to give it that extra personal touch. And I feel like that's what Megan's doing, is she's making personal products and giving it to her friends and then having them post about it for something they cannot buy and something she's giving them as a friend gift. Like, this is just stupid. I mean, there's just no other way to describe it at this point but sheer stupidity. And the initial campaign was bad, in part because obviously we couldn't buy it. But it's been a month since anybody posted. So the last post for ARO by one of Megan's friends was April 29th, I believe. And so it is now June 15th. And she's having somebody else post more pictures of a brand nobody can purchase from a website that is not active, from a social media account that's dormant and losing followers because she hasn't done anything with it. This is just simply doubling down on stupid. It just is. This is a wreck. This is horrifically bad management. She looks inept. She looks amateurish, like completely and utterly amateurish. She looks incompetent. It is horrifically bad. And yes, she will always have her shills buy things. But if you are smart, what you want to do is have even people who don't like you purchase your product. If you are smart, at this point, I'm just going to boycott it, not just because it's Megan, but because I think she's incompetent. And so I don't want to buy her products because she looks entirely incompetent in this bereft business strategy. That's nothing. That's dragging on for months without a product. And nobody's waiting for these products because guess what? You can buy jam in the supermarket for a cheaper price. Why would you buy her jam? Why? She has not even told us at this point what makes her brand special, what makes her jam, which we can all go to the farmer's market. And I actually drove by a farmer's market and I didn't think of this, but I should have stopped and grabbed some jam from there. So you have a farmer's market that you can buy jam from and your grocery store. I can go 5 minutes to the grocery store right now and buy strawberry jam. Why should I buy her jam? She has failed completely to tell anybody this, and it's been 3 months now, and it's been 2 plus months since we had this trickle of her friends showing off jam of anything. And not only can you buy it, you can make it. Because here's the thing, if I want somebody to buy something and it's not something they have or something they can make, let's take these Bose headphones right here. I can't make Bose headphones. I can buy Bose headphones, but I can't make them. And so I maybe want these because I like international travel and I hate long flights. And it's nice to just put these on and tune out the world. It is so nice. So the business strategy is to highlight these. Obviously, they're kind of I do have a newer pair, but these have been a little worn. So the point is to highlight these to travelers or musicians or people who really, really need to hear things very clearly. That's who you market these to. That's who you sell them to, and you give them a product that they cannot get anywhere else. Obviously, there are competitors, but Meghan Markle has not given us a single reason why we should buy her jam at all. At all. There is no single reason. She is giving it to her friends. She's essentially being crafty, like so many other people do in this country. My grandma, I think she gave me like jalapeno jam or something one time. I didn't really eat it. So sorry, grandma. But it wasn't bad. But she makes jam. I can get jam from my grandma. I can get jam anywhere in the world. Why your jam, Megan? She has failed completely and utterly to answer this question because she's just relying on the fact that she's a duchess and people will buy it just because she's a duchess. Now, while that's true, unfortunately, there's nothing unique about jam, really, unlike these. These have a proprietary technology, all these sorts of things that make Bose unique. They are a unique product. Yes, they have competitors, but they are a unique product to themselves. There's literally nothing unique about jam because it's a very simple and like very simple process to make. It doesn't require a lot of ingredients, so you can't really get huge levels of variation. So again, what makes Megan's brand special? No idea. No idea. So, as we go on this terrible business strategy, again, we just seem to double down on stupid, which is release this as Catherine returns to public life. And this screams pathetic desperation. Absolutely pathetic desperation. That Nacho, her friend who posted this, is even going along with it. It's pathetic in and of itself. I mean, he should be utterly embarrassed to do this, to be honest, because all it looks like is that you are so pathetically desperate to get anybody to pay a smidge of attention to you that you will try to compete with a woman who has had cancer and everybody's been waiting for to return and try to compete with her. Like you can literally feel Megan hearing the news that Catherine's going to return mad at dashing and trying to attempt to make a batch of raspberry jam. 9/10 of it turns out terrible. So she only has two workable jars and she gives one to Nacho so she can go two of two and give it to him so that he can post it so that she can try to compete. Like, seriously, it's so pathetically desperate that it reeks, it smells, it's awful. And Megan is also continuing to double down on the strategy of letting everybody else define her brand but her. We have never seen Meghan Markle show off American Riviera Orchard. She's making everybody else do it. It's lazy marketing, to be sure, because the whole point of this is that you should buy this because Meghan Markle made it. Yet Meghan Markle won't touch it. So why should you buy it if the person who made it, who's telling you you need to buy this just because I'm Meghan Markle, is not even touching her own brand? Again, the message that this gives the world is terrible. It's an absolutely terrible message. It's terrible branding. It's terrible marketing. It's terrible all over. And I don't know if Megan fully recognizes that yet. And as time goes on, again, we've talked about this before that when it comes to American Riviera Orchard, she did create this jam craze. You could totally agree with that. She created this jam craze. I bought a bottle of jam just as like a prop, which I still have here that I haven't really used because I'm not really much of a jam person. But she created this jam craze. And guess what? People bought jam, but she let the craze go on too long and they didn't buy her jam. Again, the ineptitude, the failure here is obvious. Anybody with a half decent business mind should be horrified by how bad this is. Should be utterly and completely horrified by how bad this is because Meghan Markle should have the access to the best resources in the world. But she is so pathetically desperate and so pathetically inept that the only thing she can think to do is release more jam to try to compete with her sister-in-law and dog biscuits. And dog biscuits, again, something you can get. Like there's actually a restaurant across the street from my church. I go there and I buy dog biscuits for my dog. Actually might go there tomorrow and buy some. She loves them. She actually likes to hide them from time to time. And I'll go get theirs because you can get dog biscuits pretty much anywhere. They're gourmet dog biscuits. When it comes to creating a brand, especially at Meghan Markle's level, you need proprietary products, which she has yet to give out. She is giving out basically crafty stuff. That's all she has is something anybody can make. As it's like honestly, because of how Harry and Meghan have treated the royal family, I want them to achieve some level of success so that they stop harping on the royals. But this is not how you achieve it. And how in the world are you going to build a multi-million dollar, if not billion dollar brand on jam? That just is not going to happen. And it's not going to happen as long as you drag this out because any businesses are looking at this going, what the heck is this woman doing? Like, I would have had X, Y, and Z done. Now, I've created Royal News Network, Royal Fashion News. I work on different things. I have like a travel video I'm working on. So if you want travel tips, I have that video for you. I know people have asked for that before, and hopefully it'll be done by the time I upload this, so I can link it up above. But I love sharing my travel tips because I've traveled a lot, so I hope it helps people. And so I've created different things. I try to do like a bunch of different things, and I had the crown report and everything. And I teased the crown report. I got my first one together. It was later than I wanted it to be. I'm still like jiggering it, trying to figure out exactly what the best way is to do it. But when it comes out, it's great. It has great information. I feel like it comes across really, really well. I'm proud of it. If I could just get it to a more consistent date of release, that'd be awesome. Still working on that. But I promised something and I've delivered. I'm inconsistent on delivery 100%, but I do this all myself. So can't get too mad. But Megan has a whole team of people who she's hired for the sole purpose of enacting her will. And yet, what we see is buffoonery. I mean, that's just simply it. This is just buffoonery. This is embarrassing. It's embarrassingly bad. And you know who knows how to do this well? Gwyneth Paltrow. And you know what she did recently? Why, she posted to the Prince and Princess of Wales Instagram account. The founder of Goop, by the way, said, "So happy to see you looking so happy and well." And again, you can see this is from the Prince and Princess of Wales. And make no mistake, although we don't know what Meghan's brand is, so we don't really know if she's trying to compete. But Meghan, in a lot of ways, is attempting really to compete with Gwyneth Paltrow and trying to create a brand as successful as Gwyneth Paltrow's brand. And guess what Gwyneth Paltrow is doing? She's encouraging Megan, in her mind, her competition. She's looking to Catherine, congratulating her, not really interacting with Megan as far as we know. And why? In part, it could just be that Gwyneth Paltrow is looking at American Riviera Orchard going, oh my gosh, that is terrible. Because it is. Because Gwyneth Paltrow grew something. I mean, she had a lot of help, but they got the branding right. They got the messaging right. They got their marketing right. They got their audience right. You have to know your audience. Megan, I have no clue who her audience is. As far as we know right now, it's friends and family, and that's it. There is no audience for this brand. There is no marketing for this brand. There's no strategy for this brand. And yes, she's giving away free jam for marketing, but I don't consider that real marketing. Why? Because yes, I know influencers get free gifts, but you get a free gift so you can advocate for something that people can actually buy. And Nacho and his wife Delphina at this point should be horrifically embarrassed to be participating in this. They should be horrifically embarrassed because this is embarrassing. It's really embarrassing because Megan, not only is she taking advantage of them in some ways, and I'm sure they're taking advantage of her in some ways, but this just looks terrible. And that Nacho participated in trying to help Megan outshine Catherine, the Princess of Wales. Dude, Dude, but it doesn't matter because Catherine made all the front pages as she was always going to. The smart thing to do here is not attempt to compete with Catherine, but that's what Meghan has done this whole time. Because my theory of why Meghan Markle launched American Riviera Orchard so early is because people were going nuts that Catherine was missing. Meghan Markle has gone also missing for months. And nobody cared. There was no hashtag where is Meghan campaign. There was no great investigation into where is Meghan. Why? Because nobody cared. And when nobody cares, I think Megan, that hurts her ever more. That's more hurtful than anything else in the world is the fact that nobody cares. And yes, I know people say, oh, we give her attention and she loves it. And she probably does. But this is not turning into good attention. It's still going increasingly negative. And negative attention does damage your brand. I was actually listening to something interesting, and they were talking about how once you have negativity in your brand, it's almost impossible to get rid of. And that is utterly and completely the case with Harry and Meghan. And they could launch and do fantastic. They could 100%, but it takes work, it takes effort, and it takes a better business strategy than American Riviera Orchard, which is just an embarrassing flop at this point. Yes, she might have 600 some odd thousand followers, but she's losing them by the day because she launched a brand with zero strategy, zero products, zero plan, zero marketing, zero audience. She launched it with nothing. And because she was just so desperate to be seen as important as Catherine. And once again, without even trying, Catherine just schools and walks all over Megan. And that's not Catherine's intention, but the world loves Catherine and they generally don't like Megan. And Megan wants to do anything to change that, except for the one thing she should do, which is drop the titles, actually create a business without relying on the Duchess of Sussex and actually be herself. And that's the one thing Megan just can't seem to do. So, guys, let me know what you think of this video. Let me know what you think of the absolutely craptastic strategy that is American Riviera Orchard. I'd love to get your thoughts. Thank you so much for watching, and I shall see you soon. Bye.